Next is that the all-party delegation led by the JDU MP Sanjay Jha took part in the interactive session with the like-minded think tanks and academics in Jakarta in Indonesia. As they yesterday made a pit stop in the country, the delegation has reaffirmed India's stance on the zero tolerance against terrorism in the discussions. Moreover, the discussions focused on enhancing bilateral ties, regional cooperation and shared democratic values. Speaking at the meeting, the delegation leader Sanjay Jha has said that from hereafter, India will not make any distinction between terrorists and the country that promotes them. We will not accept any nuclear blackmail, and also in fact has said a statement. Let's listen in.
This delegation in front of you today includes parties both from ruling as well as opposition, parties from across the breadth and span of India, thus representing an unified and bipartisan voice of India, which is determined to defeat terrorism in all its form and manifestation. At the outset, allow me to place on record our sincere appreciation for the government of Indonesia and particularly President Prabowo for the clear statement condemning the terror attack in Pahalgaon in Jammu and Kashmir and for expressing solidarity with the people of India. He had stated that such atrocities are unjustifiable regardless of the motive, time, place or perpetrators. This is a strong source of strength for India. Yesterday, our delegation had productive official meeting, including with the Vice Chairman of Inter-Parliamentary Cooperation, the Chairperson of India-Indonesia Parliamentary Friendship Group, the Secretary General of ASEAN, and the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. In all our interaction, the message from Indonesia was clear, that unequivocal condemnation for act of terrorism and of a policy of zero tolerance for terrorism in India. Today we are meeting with a prominent think tank and members of the academia in Indonesia, which serve as an invaluable catalyst in formulating innovative counter-terrorism policy. The purpose of this interaction is to brief India's point of view and our strategy to tackle the menace of terrorism, henceforth emanating from Pakistan. That the terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir was carried out with nefarious design to disrupt normalcy and to provoke communal disharmony in India.
Well, all right, Anand Tiwari is joining me live on the broadcast with more updates on this. Anand, we have just heard the statement by the JDU MP Sanjay Jha on, in fact, the delegation stand and their resolve to reply to the action of the terrorists. They are having a deliberation on the think tank's stand, also on the nuclear blackmail that Pakistan has issued. What are you picking up as the delegation led by Sanjay Kumar Jha is slated to now make a stop to the next country?
Yes, and then look, the way in which this delegation led by Sanjay Kumar Jha had already held interactions with several of the government officials in Japan, South Korea, and also in Singapore. So now they have arrived in Indonesia and they have highlighted that how India has been a victim of the Pakistan-sponsored terrorism and how the Pahalgam terror attacks were carried out here on April 22, in which several of the innocent tourists were killed. So he clearly highlighted with several of the Indonesian parliamentarians, the Asian Secretary General over there, and several of the other government officials and the Vice President of the Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. So they all condemned the kind of terror attack and terrorism happening in India, and they also said that they are going to adopt the policy of the zero tolerance, that is the Indonesia policy too. So they are not going to accept this kind of terror threats. And even Sanjay Jha made it very clear, he made it point blank for all the countries that India is not going to listen to what nuclear blackmails are, and if anyone is making nuclear threats, as India has every right to respond to terrorism and the countries who are promoting terrorism from their own soil. So this has been the stand of India as the Indian delegation is engaging with several of the members over there in Indonesia, which also includes the think tanks and academia. And they have unequivocally, they have supported India's stand for its policy on zero tolerance towards terrorism. So clearly, India has been able to make this very clear to the world leaders that India is not going to accept such kind of terror acts and terrorism in any form on its soil that is sponsored from other countries. And the Indian delegation has also been highlighting during their visit to several of the countries that how Pakistan's soil was used for promoting such terror acts in India, and how not only in Pahalgam, but before Pahalgam too, whether it was 26/11 Mumbai terror attack in which more than 167 people were killed when they were having dinner or having celebrations at several of the hotels, or several of the people were killed at CSMT railway station in Mumbai.